Embarking on your project management journey and feeling a little bit jittery, don't worry about it. I have you covered because I'm going to teach you about confidence and everything that you need to know as a new project manager. So let's kick those nerves to the curb and let's get to those tips. Adopt the motto of be prepared. Okay, a lot of times as new project managers, you get your marching orders and you are so excited that you go and you kick off your meeting with everybody that you need to have on your project. Well, let me tell you, that is not what you do. You need to be prepared. You have to take the time, energy, and effort to get all those key documents, specifically the charter, ready before you even think about kicking it off. Why? Because it's all about plan, plan, plan. You must do your planning first before you can even think about anything else. Now, how do you do this? So you're given your marching orders. You want to first meet with your sponsor. You want to get confirmation and clarity on information that you've been told, and you want to get some expansion of that information so that you can fill out your charter properly. You also want to meet up with your steering committee, and you want to get clarity and, most importantly, approval on those items that you just gathered so that your charter is now ready to go. And in the last preparing aspect is, once you've gotten all your approvals and everybody from a senior executive perspective is on board, have your kickoff meeting. And now you can present everything to your team. Before we dive into my next tip, do you know that I have a free webinar? This free webinar is going to give you fundamentals on how to start off your project. I highly recommend that you sign up for it. And where can you do this? Well, there's a link underneath this video. Your sponsor is your ally. Okay. You need to have senior executive support. And in fact, we know that from the first tip, you have to plan and you want to be prepared and you want to get your charter and get all of them to sign off on it. But you really need to make sure that your sponsor is your right hand, ensuring that everything that you're doing is leading up to strategy and that they have your back. So how do you do this? Well, when you get your marching orders, yes, you want to do your charter, but you want to have some one-on-one time specifically with the sponsor. They picked you and said, hey, you're going to be the project manager. As a sponsor, they have a vested interest in the success of this project. They're probably the senior person who's going to be sharing with the other senior people the status of what's going on. They're going to be your champion. They're going to be making sure you get what you need. And so you need to set that up. So the first thing I would recommend to get this going is to set up a one-on-one meeting with your sponsor. If you've just gotten the marching orders through an email, reach out saying, hey, I really would like for us to sit down, talk about what's going on, validate some items in the scope template, which would be, let's just confirm what it is that we're supposed to be doing. Let's confirm the ins and outs. Let's confirm what you feel the timing is, as well as who are some of those resources. Set clear expectations from the onset. Okay, as a new project manager, I cannot stress this enough. You're already going to have some, as a new project manager, you're going to feel probably overwhelmed is not the right word, but you're probably going to feel maybe a little bit stressed. You feel a little bit anxious because it's a project, you're new at this. That's very natural. So one of the best things you can do is just get very clear on expectations. And what are expectations? Well, you're going to have a couple of expectations for different stakeholders. You're going to have expectations for your team member. How do you expect your team to work and behave? How are they supposed to submit their updates, things of that nature? You want to get very clear with that from the beginning. It's just going to make your life easy. And in the beginning stages of a project, everyone is very agreeable. So this is the time to do it. You also want to make sure that you set those expectations with your steering committee. So this is the group that's going to be removing the roadblocks, and you want to set those expectations of what is it that they're looking for, what is it that you're looking for from them, and how often do you want to meet. Again, this is the time to do it in the beginning of your project. So how do you go about setting these expectations? Well, you do this at the kickoff meeting. So at the kickoff meeting, everybody is present from your team perspective. So you want to lay out those expectations. Again, PowerPoint. In fact, my Slay students are quite lucky because I have a PowerPoint for kickoff meetings for them, which lays everything out. So they just bring that up and populate it. And that's in my Slay project management course. And so you put it in there, and then when you're in the meeting, you go through it and you ask them, hey guys, are you cool with this? Is there anything else that you want to add? Is there any expectations you have for me? And then you do the exact same concept with your steering committee members, and you do that in the steering committee member meeting, the first one that you have with them, when you kind of lay everything out. What is it that we expect from each other? And get that in writing and put it in a formal presentation. But must set those expectations. Communicate clearly and often. Communication is going to be your lifeline to ensure that you have your finger on the pulse. So, how is it that you communicate? Don't forget, communication is not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. So there's two sides of the communication we have to talk about. First and foremost is the communication that you give to your team. So how is it that they know where they can get their information? How is it that they know what they're supposed to do? This is where you communicate by having a central location for all of your key project documents that people can go to so that they can educate themselves on what it is that they have to do, particularly their action plan. So that communication tool is going to be really important because it allows for people to do what they need to do on their own time. Now, the cool thing is, and this is what I teach in my SLAY program, is you communicate and you use your action plan as a communication tool as well, so people can put their updates in it and you're not chasing people for updates, nor are you doing an update meeting, because that's actually bad communication. That's actually wasting people's time. When you are communicating, you want to be effective, you want to be efficient. And so that's where that becomes really important, is you have to provide all the information and have it at a central location. Now that two-way street is you also have to be available for your team and have the doors open so that they communicate to you. You need to have an understanding of risks that are going on. If things are coming to fruition that maybe you don't want it to be coming to fruition because it's going to derail the project, you need to know that. So you have to really set up that, it's okay to bring everything to me. I'm not going to get upset because we need to know what's happening so we can deal with it and course correct it. So communication is going to be critical and your lifeline for your project success. And as a new project manager, this is something that you're going to have to learn how to develop. Don't avoid conflict. Okay, I tell this to my coaching students all the time, because they always come to me and they say, oh my goodness, look at this. This is what happened. So-and-so is doing this and I don't know how to deal with it. And so what happens when we don't know how to deal with things, it's easier for us to ignore it and put it aside, but that's avoidance. And I promise you, it's not gonna go away. It's gonna build and just get bigger. So how do you not avoid conflict? Okay, first and foremost, you need to have some techniques. And one of the techniques that I teach is use your after action review as a way to neutralize and take away emotional charge, because that's what we're afraid of, is the emotional charge when it comes to conflict. There's nothing wrong when things aren't working well. It's how we deal with them. When we're afraid that how other people are either going to yell, they're going to get upset. How do we tell someone they're not doing their job properly? So with the after action review, it's a very simple technique. And basically in that template, you document what is it that we were supposed to do, what actually happened, and then you leave a portion for conversation to say, what can we do to learn from this and course correct it and ensure it doesn't happen again in the future. It is such a simple, easy technique to implement that has huge positive benefits for your project. And it allows you to deal with conflict immediately. Because if something is happening, you don't have to wait. You have that sort of premise to kind of play off of from your head right away. Conflict is happening. Whoa, wait a minute. What do we agree to? What actually happened? And what are we going to do to make sure it doesn't happen? So you can formalize it or make it informal, but do not avoid it, because it will rear its ugly head. It's never going to go away. And worse yet, your team members and people around you know you're avoiding it, and now you're saying to them it's acceptable to have that conflict. And now you're just going to have more of it, not less. So again, don't avoid it, deal with it, but deal with it properly and use an AAR. Prepare for scope creep. As a new project manager, this may be new to you, but there will be people who will come to you, normally senior executives, who will ask you to add things to your project scope. That's called scope creep. And the reason why you need to be aware of this and nip it in the bud, because it's gonna bite you and you're not gonna be happy with it, is when you start adding things to your project, that means it shortens your timelines, it impacts other activities, and all in a negative way, not in a positive way. So be aware of scope creep. It will happen. It's all in how you deal with it. So how do you deal with scope creep? Well, you need to have a change control process. So a change control process is a very simple technique that I teach in SLAY. And that basically is when someone wants to do a change, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with wanting to change something in your project, because things happen, time has passed, maybe there's a new strategy that popped up and you need to shift your project accordingly. You just have to do it in a very strategic way. So you have to understand what exactly is it that you're trying to change, what's the impact of the change on the project from a time, scope, budget, resource. You also have an understanding of what's in and out with that change, and you have to tie it back into, if we were to adopt this change, is it going to push out anything and extend my project timeline, which is really important, or do I need more money? So these are the things that you start talking to, and then all of a sudden, when you actually do this with a person who's requesting the scope creep item, even though they have no idea they're doing scope creep, but that's exactly what they're doing, and you actually go through it very systematically with them, sometimes they'll go, wait a minute, this is not worth it. I thought it'd be really simple, but it's actually not, and I can now see that you're bringing to my attention this is actually not the right strategic move. Or they may go, yep, absolutely right. I'm going to give you the money to make sure that this happens. Again, all good. You just have to be aware of it and you got to control it. And you do that with a change control form. Don't forget to sign up for my free webinar. It's going to help you really kick off your projects properly by giving you the key things that you need to be aware of when starting off your project. For more stuff that you need to be aware of that new project managers need to know, well, watch this next video. On that note, if you found the information in this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to this community. We would love to have you. And if you have any comments, let us know. We'd love to hear from you too. See you at the next video.